I'm really live. Yay, I'm here today. We decided to open the vault and answer some more of your questions. And one of them is from Brent in South Carolina. I'm going to tell you all about his question in just a minute. If you don't know, my name is Leslie Spoor, and this is Live with Leslie. And this is our Facebook Live program to help you, the small business owner, find out information and things that we can help you grow your business. So Brent asks today, why have your employees gone crazy? And the question I want to ask you about that, or what I want to tell you about that is, gosh, I'm out of practice on this live stuff. Sorry about that. A little rusty. It's a big question. I get this all the time about whether or not you should have employees. I can guarantee you, if you do have employees, they're all going to go crazy at some time or another because that's the nature of employees. But we want to talk for just a second about whether or not you even want employees. I counsel a lot of people about this, that they're starting their business and they're trying to figure out where they're going. And one of the questions I always ask them is, where do you see your business in 4 or 5 years? Are you trying to create a job for yourself, or are you trying to create a company? Both of the answers to those, both of those are honorable, great things to do. But if you're creating a job for yourself, maybe you don't want employees. Maybe you want to keep your organization small and simple. Or if you're trying to create a company, you're going to have employees. And then what happens is people want to know, when do you trade over from subcontractors to actual real employees? Most people start with subcontract help. Now, if you don't know the difference between a subcontract help and an employee, this is the answer. And I'm going to summarize it for you. You need to look up what the government says, because there are clear definitions both statewide and federally about what constitutes an employee. But basically, if you tell somebody where to go, when to be there, how to do their job, and where to go, what to do, and how to do it, how to do their job, then they are employees. If you just say, here's something to go do, and they go off and do it, then maybe you can get by with subcontractors. But there's some things to take into consideration when you have subcontractors, one of which is that your insurance, your liability insurance, which I hope you all have, because Lord knows we need it, when you have liability insurance, it will not cover subcontract labor. It will only cover yourself and your employees. So if you're using subcontract labor, technically you need them to have their own insurance, and most people won't get it to do a job. So just be aware that if you're using subcontract help, you're putting yourself at a little bit of risk because they're not insured. The other thing is that when you have subcontract work, you're not having to pay any of the taxes associated with that person's work effort. So you give them what's called a 1099. That's a miscellaneous income document. You paid them whatever they've earned, and then they report it to the government and they have to pay the taxes. If you hire employees, you have to pay the taxes on them. So if you're going to go down the employee route, here are some things to take into consideration. You absolutely need to have some kind of hiring contract with your employees so that you clearly, both sides understand the expectations. In fact, you should have a hiring contract whether it's a subcontractor or an employee, but always have a hiring contract so that you are clear in what you're doing, what the rate of pay is, how you're going to go about working together, what's acceptable to do and what's not acceptable to do, what kind of behavior you expect, how you want people to look and act on behalf of your company. A lot of things to take into consideration there. 2 is you're going to need a payroll software system. If you don't feel comfortable processing payroll on your own, because it can be kind of complicated, then there are plenty of independent payroll companies who will take on that for you. You definitely need to have some sort of handbook, procedures, policies and procedures. Those of you who know me well know that I talk about policies and procedures almost as much as I talk about identifying who your ideal client is. This is something that's really important for your business, so that you can control the quality of what you do, so that you can be professional and have consistency. So policies and procedures, some kind of employee handbook is critical when you start hiring employees. And then you want to define the benefits. What are you going to give that employee? Now, I bet you don't know that The government has rules regarding paying mileage. If your employees are driving their own vehicles in the course of doing business for your company, which in the concierge industry is most of the time, they're driving their own cars, there are rules regarding mileage reimbursement. In the United States, only 2 states absolutely require that you pay mileage reimbursement to employees. One of them, luckily for me, and I'm being sarcastic when I say that, is California. I have to reimburse my employees for mileage or some kind of a monthly stipend to offset vehicle maintenance and gas. I forget the other one. I want to say it's, gosh, don't quote me. I want to say it's like New Hampshire or something, but I could be totally wrong on that. But there are only 2 states in the union that require mileage reimbursement. Anything else other than that is voluntary. So you definitely want to do an analysis for your state about what makes sense. And you also want to keep in mind that if you're going to hire employees, you want to try to keep them happy, because that keeps them from going crazy on you. Well, it doesn't help keep them from going crazy on you. They're going to go crazy on you no matter what you do. Eventually, part of having employees is dealing with the dynamics of personalities, and hopefully you know how good you are at doing that. So you want to know what kind of benefits you want to provide to your employees. Now, I'm not talking necessarily about, I'm not necessarily talking about health care or insurance or that sort of thing. I mean, just the whole working environment that you're providing for your employees. For example, because my employees do take care of people's homes for our company, my other company, the lifestyle management company, I provide to them microfiber cloths for wiping out sinks and tubs. I provide booties for walking on the carpeting. I provide a blower for blowing out garages and sidewalks and things like that. I provide phones and iPads so that they can do their enter their information into our database. You know, you all know that I have a software system, and we use that software system to run our own business. And so we provide phones and iPads so that they have the latest in technology to be able to do that. So these are some of the things that you want to take into consideration when you go to hire employees, because happy employees are less crazy than unhappy employees, and you want to make sure that you do keep them happy. So that's kind of the things to take into consideration. Let me recap that really quickly. You need some kind of a hiring agreement, whether they're subcontract employees or actual on the payroll employees. Many of you know that we offer documents, and we do have a hiring agreement available on our website at conciergebusinesssolutions.com. So if you don't have one, you can take ours and run it by your legal and modify it for your own use. You need to have some kind of payroll software. We actually do our payroll directly through our QuickBooks, but you can hire that, outsource that to somebody else who does that for a living, and if you don't want to mess with it. You need to have some kind of employee handbook and procedure so that people will know how to do their job, and so that you can control the quality, the professionalism, and the consistency of your employees' work for you going forward. And you want to decide what kind of benefits that you're going to offer to your employees so that you will have a happy and healthy work environment. I hope this helped you understand how to keep your employees from going crazy and whether or not to even have employees. If you'd like to have some more information about this, if you'd like to talk to me directly, Jeff is pointing up. There's somewhere up. Is it up here, Jeff? There's a website that you can go through, and there's a contact me website on there. You can also, if you want to see a demo of our software, our data collection software, you can find that through there. There's a contact me form in there to request a demo. If you really like this video and you want to see more videos like this, we have at least 50 videos out on YouTube, free for you to look at, all kinds of help about how to run your business. So please go to the search bar and type in YouTube and Leslie Spoor, and it'll come right up, and you can go and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can watch these videos and be notified when new ones come out. My phone number, in case you want to call, is 760-898-9604. I'm here to help make your business better. Thank you for joining us today. Again, I'm Leslie Spoor. This is Live with Leslie, and until next week, have a good week.